Finding another man's condoms in your wife's gym bag is like discovering a rattlesnake in your cereal bowl. Shocking, venomous, and guaranteed to ruin your whole damn day. I'm Tom Harland, 38 years old, IT security specialist for a mid-sized insurance company, and apparently the last person in my own marriage to know I'm being cuckolded. The evidence sits there on our kitchen counter like a neon sign. A strip of Trojans tucked between Jessica's protein bars and that ridiculous green lace lingerie I've never seen before. Either she's planning a surprise party, I mutter to our empty house, or she's screwing someone who hates latex rashes. The dark humor helps. It always has. When your world starts cracking apart, sometimes sarcasm is the only glue that holds your sanity together. Jessica, never Jess, God forbid, is at the gym again. She's been training for competitions for the past 6 months, which apparently requires 14-hour days at Platinum Fitness and weekend retreats with her trainer. I used to admire her dedication. Now I realize I've been admiring her deception. Our son, Max, shuffles into the kitchen, all elbows and attitude at 14. He's got Jessica's dark hair and my cynical eyes, though his cynicism comes from watching his parents pretend everything's fine. "Mom's not coming to my science fair tonight, is she?" he asks, grabbing a Pop-Tart. "She's got a late session with Wyatt," I say, testing the name on my tongue like poison. Wyatt Miller, personal trainer extraordinaire, owner of the aforementioned Condoms, and recipient of my wife's newfound interest in exotic lingerie. Max shrugs with the practiced indifference of a kid who stopped expecting disappointment to hurt. "Figured she's been pretty busy lately." Busy, right? After Max leaves for school, I do what any rational IT professional would do. I investigate. Jessica's laptop is a treasure trove of digital infidelity. Her browser history reads like a cheater's handbook. How to spice up your relationship, best hotels for weekend getaways, and, my personal favorite, signs your husband suspects you're cheating. Spoiler alert, honey, he does now. The text messages are worse. Months of exchanges with Wyatt, each one more explicit than the last. My wife, the woman who claims she's too tired for intimacy with me, apparently has the energy of a porn star when it comes to her muscle-bound trainer. But it's not just the affair that makes my blood boil. It's the contempt. The messages between Jessica and her friends Gina and Miranda are a masterclass in marital assassination. They call me Tommy the Tech Nerd, mock my receding hairline, and laugh about how I wouldn't know what to do with a real woman. The final straw comes in a voice message Jessica sent to Gina yesterday. "Honestly, I don't know why I married him. Why, it makes me feel alive again. Tom's just there, like furniture that pays bills." Furniture that pays bills. I sit in my home office surrounded by the computer equipment that makes me such boring furniture, and something cold settles in my chest. Not heartbreak. I passed that station about 20 screenshots ago. This is something else. Something calculating. I've spent 15 years securing networks against people who think they're smarter than the system. I've caught hackers, fraudsters, and corporate spies who believed they were untouchable. They all made this same mistake. They underestimated the quiet guy in it. Jessica's about to learn that furniture can be surprisingly dangerous when you're not paying attention. My phone buzzes. A text from Wyatt meant for Jessica but sent to me by mistake. "Can't wait for tonight, baby. Wear that green thing again." I screenshot it, add it to my growing collection of evidence, and smile for the first time in months. "Oh, I'll make sure she wears the green thing," I say to my empty office. "But I don't think you're going to like how it looks." The beauty of working in IT security is that you learn to think like the bad guys. You have to if you want to catch them. The trick is understanding that everyone has vulnerabilities, weaknesses they don't even know exist until someone exploits them. Jessica's weakness is her vanity. Wyatt's is his stupidity. Combined, they're about to become the most entertaining disaster I've ever orchestrated. I start small. A trip to the novelty shop downtown yields everything I need: brilliant green fabric dye, concentrated itching powder, and a tiny wireless camera that cost more than Jessica's monthly gym membership. The camera goes in our garage, positioned perfectly to catch the side entrance Jessica uses for her discreet comingings and going. The dye and itching powder get mixed into a concoction that looks exactly like the expensive massage oil Jessica keeps in her gym bag. A little chemistry knowledge goes a long way when you're planning revenge. "Dad, you're acting weird," Max observes over dinner. Jessica's chair sits empty. Another emergency training session with Wyatt. "Weird how you're smiling." Like actually smiling. It's creepy. I ruffle his hair. "Maybe I'm just happy, kiddo." "About what?" "Mom's never here. You guys barely talk. And I'm pretty sure Mrs. Patterson next door knows more about our family than we do." Smart kid. Too smart for his own good. "Sometimes things have to get worse before they get better," I tell him. "But they will get better, I promise." He gives me a look that's far too adult for 14. "Are you and Mom getting divorced?" The question hits harder than I expected. Not because I don't know the answer, but because I do. "We'll see, Max. We'll see." That night, I watched Jessica prepare for another late session. She's practically glowing with anticipation, humming as she packs her gym bag. The green lingerie goes in first, followed by the doctored massage oil. "Don't wait up," she calls, not even looking at me as she heads for the garage. "Wouldn't dream of it," I reply, settling in at my computer to watch the show. The camera feed is crystal clear. Jessica backs out of the garage at 7:23 p.m., presumably heading to whatever hotel she and Wyatt have chosen for tonight's rendezvous. I settle in with a beer and wait. They return at 11:47 p.m. The sight that greets me through the camera is better than I could have imagined. Jessica and Wyatt stumble out of her car, looking like they've been attacked by radioactive leprechauns. Green streaks cover their skin, their hair, their clothes. But the real entertainment starts when the itching kicks in. Wyatt scratches his arm so frantically, I'm worried he'll draw blood. Jessica claws at her neck, her face, anywhere the massage oil made contact. They're both trying to whisper, argue, while looking like extras from a low-budget zombie movie. What the hell was in that oil? Wyatt hisses, scratching his chest through his shirt. "I don't know. It's the same brand I always use." Jessica whispers back, then breaks off to scratch her scalp vigorously. They try to sneak into the house through the garage, but our motion sensor lights have other ideas. Suddenly, they're illuminated like performers on a stage, and I realize they're not alone. Mrs. Patterson, our 70-year-old neighbor who treats the homeowners association like her personal intelligence agency, is standing in her yard with her phone out, recording everything. "Oh my," I hear her say through the thin walls. "This is definitely going in the next HOA newsletter." Jessica and Wyatt freeze like deer in headlights. Green, itchy deer who've been caught red-handed. Or green-handed, technically. "That's natural," Jessica whispers. "Natural?" Wyatt scratches his neck so hard his shirt collar shifts. I look like the Incredible Hulk's rash. They hurry inside, leaving me alone with my beer and the most satisfying security footage I've ever recorded. But this is just the opening act. The real show starts tomorrow, when half the neighborhood has seen Mrs. Patterson's video and the local gossip network kicks into high gear. I save the footage to 3 different drives, upload a copy to the cloud, and send myself the file via encrypted email. In my line of work, you never trust a single backup. Then I go to bed, humming the same tune Jessica was earlier. Funny how quickly the tables can turn. By morning, Mrs. Patterson's video has spread through our neighborhood's Facebook group like wildfire through a drought-stricken forest. The title reads, "Strange late-night activity at 47 Maple Street. Possible health hazard." The comments are pure gold. Is that Jessica Harone? Why is she green? Looks like some kind of infection. Should we call the health department? My kids play in that yard. What if it's contagious? I always knew something was off about that woman. Jessica discovers her newfound internet fame over coffee. I watch her face cycle through confusion, recognition, horror, and finally rage as she scrolls through the comments on her phone. "Tom," she says, her voice dangerously quiet. "Did you see this?" I look over her shoulder with practiced innocence. "See what?" "Oh, wow. Is that you? What happened to your skin?" "You know exactly what happened." Her eyes narrow. "This is your doing, isn't it?" "My doing? Honey, I was here all night. You can check the home security system if you want." Which she can't because I'm the only one who knows how to access it. The perks of being the family tech support. Besides, I continue, I'm not the one sneaking around at midnight looking like I wrestled with a glow stick. She storms out, presumably to damage control with her friends. But Gina and Miranda are dealing with their own problem. Turns out their husbands saw the video too, and they're asking uncomfortable questions about their wives' girls' nights out. My phone rings. Dave Martinez, my gym buddy and one of the few people who knows about my suspicions. "Dude, did you see the Facebook thing? Your wife looks like she fell into a vat of Nickelodeon slime." "Yeah, it's weird. She says it was some kind of allergic reaction to a new soap." "Uh-huh. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence that Wyatt Miller hasn't posted anything on Instagram since last night. Guy usually documents every protein shake and bicep curl. Dave's not stupid. None of my real friends are, which is why they've been trying to warn me about Jessica for months. Speaking of Wyatt, Dave continues, "You should probably know he's been bragging at the gym about his married conquest. Real classy guy." The cold feeling in my chest spreads. It's one thing to cheat. It's another to humiliate your spouse publicly while doing it. "Thanks for the heads up," I tell Dave. "You okay, man? You sound different." "I'm fine. Better than fine, actually. I'm focused." After hanging up, I dive deeper into Wyatt's digital life. The man has the cybersecurity awareness of a drunk toddler. His social media passwords are variations of his own name. His email is connected to everything, and his cloud storage is about as secure as a screen door in a hurricane. What I find there makes my blood boil. Videos, photos, screenshots of text conversations with Jessica. The bastard has been documenting their affair like it's some kind of trophy collection. But Wyatt's not just cheating with my wife. He's cheating with at least 3 other married women, including someone named Carol, whose husband apparently thinks she's taking pottery classes on Thursday nights. I screenshot everything, organize it into neat folders, and start planning phase 2 of what I'm already thinking of as Operation Green Sting. My computer pings with a new email. It's from Jessica's boss at the fitness center where she teaches classes. "Hi, Tom. Jessica called in sick today, but several clients are asking about the video going around social media. Could you have her call me when she's feeling better? We need to discuss some concerns about public image and health protocols." I forward the email to Jessica with a simple message. "Thought you should see this." Her response comes back in all caps. "This is all your fault." I type back, "I'm not the one who decided to get freaky with massage oil in a public place, sweetheart." She doesn't respond, but 20 minutes later I hear her car screech out of the driveway, probably heading to Wyatt's apartment to figure out damage control. Perfect. That gives me time to implement phase 2. I create a series of social media posts scheduled to go live from Wyatt's accounts over the next week. Nothing illegal, just his own photos and messages recontextualized to show exactly what kind of man he really is. The posts about his conquests, the screenshots of his conversations with married women, the videos he took without their knowledge. By the time I'm finished, Wyatt Miller's reputation is going to be more toxic than a nuclear waste dump. My phone buzzes. A text from Max. Dad, kids at school are asking about the Facebook video. What should I tell them? I stare at the message, feeling a pang of guilt. Max didn't ask for any of this. But he deserves better than a mother who treats her family like disposable furniture. I text back. Tell them your mom had an allergic reaction and she's fine now. And Max, I'm sorry you have to deal with this. It's okay, Dad. I know it's not your fault. Smart kid. Smarter than his mother, that's for sure. The first of Wyatt's scheduled posts goes live at 6 a.m. on Tuesday. It's a photo he took of himself flexing in the gym mirror, but I've paired it with one of his own text messages. Married women are the best. No strings attached, just pure gratitude. By 8 a.m., the post has 47 comments, most of them from angry women who are suddenly realizing they weren't as special as they thought. By 10 a.m., Wyatt's calling me. Tom, we need to talk. Do we? I can't imagine what about. Cut the, I know you're behind this. My social media has been hacked. Have you tried turning it off and on again? I ask, channeling every IT support stereotype I can think of. Sometimes that fixes everything. This isn't funny. That post, those are private messages. Private messages you sent to multiple women while sleeping with my wife. Yeah, I can see how that might be embarrassing. Silence on the other end. Then look about Jessica. About Jessica what? About how you've been documenting your affair like it's a nature documentary? About how you've been bragging to your gym buddies about your married conquest? Which part exactly? More silence. Wyatt's not used to being on the defensive. I want those posts deleted, he finally says. Then delete them yourself. Oh wait, you can't because someone changed your passwords. That's awkward. I hang up and immediately get a call from Jessica. What did you do to Wyatt's accounts? Good morning to you too, dear. I'm fine, thanks for asking. Tom, I'm serious. This has gone too far. Too far? We're just getting started. The second post goes live while we're talking. This one's a video Wyatt took of himself explaining his system for juggling multiple affairs. His own words, his own face, his own arrogance on full display. Oh look, I tell Jessica. Another post just went up. You might want to check it out. I can hear her phone pinging with notifications as friends start tagging her in the comments. The sound is like music. You're destroying his life, she says. I'm not destroying anything. I'm just sharing his own content with a wider audience. Think of it as a public service. This is insane. You're acting like a psychopath. I'm acting like a man whose wife has been cheating on him for months while mocking him to her friends. But sure, I'm the psychopath. She hangs up. Within an hour, she's at my office. I work for Meridian Insurance, a mid-size company in a glass building downtown. Jessica's never visited me here. She's always claimed my work is too boring to understand. But here she is, dressed in her gym clothes and looking like she hasn't slept. We need to talk, she says, standing in my cubicle like an avenging angel. Several co-workers look over with interest. Sure, conference room B is free. I lead her to a small meeting room with glass walls. Privacy, but with visibility. Perfect for what I have planned. You need to stop this, she says the moment the door closes. Wyatt's getting death threats. His clients are canceling. His landlord called about complaints from neighbors. Sounds like the free market at work. This isn't funny, Tom. You're ruining people's lives. People's lives, plural. How many people are we talking about here, Jessica? She realizes her mistake immediately. I meant you meant Wyatt's life and yours, because that's all you care about. I pull out my phone and show her the screenshots I've collected. Her face goes white as she scrolls through months of messages mocking our marriage, our family, me. Where did you get these? Does it matter? The question is, what are you going to do about it? What do you want? It's the first honest question she's asked me in months. I want you to understand what it feels like to be humiliated by someone you trust. I want you to experience the same contempt you've been showing me for months. And I want you to realize that actions have consequences. So what? You're going to destroy my life too? Your life. Jessica, you're a part-time fitness instructor who spends most of her time gossiping with friends and cheating on her husband. What exactly do you think I'm going to destroy? The cruelty in my voice surprises even me, but it feels good. It feels like justice. I'll leave, she says quietly. I'll file for divorce. Just stop this. Oh, you'll leave anyway, but this doesn't stop until I decide it stops. She stares at me like she's seeing me for the first time. Maybe she is. I don't know who you are anymore, she whispers. I'm the furniture that pays bills, remember? Except now the furniture is fighting back. She leaves without another word. Through the glass walls, I watch her walk past my coworkers, most of whom have probably seen the Facebook video by now. The looks they give her range from curious to pitying to disgusted. My desk phone rings. It's Rhea Patel from the cybersecurity team. Tom, can you come to my office? We need to discuss something. Rhea's been with the company for 3 years. She's brilliant, funny, and has been trying to ask me out for coffee for months. I've been too wrapped up in my failing marriage to notice, but lately I'm starting to see her in a different light. What's up? I ask, settling into the chair across from her desk. I saw your wife's visit. Everything okay? Define okay. She gives me a look that's part sympathy, part amusement. I also saw the Facebook video and the Instagram posts that are making the rounds. My blood chills. What Instagram posts? The ones from Wyatt Miller's account. Pretty damning stuff. Also pretty clearly revenge-driven. She leans forward. Tom, please tell me you're not doing anything that could get you in legal trouble. Everything I'm doing is perfectly legal. Legal and smart are two different things. She's right, but I'm too far down this rabbit hole to climb out now. I appreciate the concern, Rhea, really, but this is something I have to finish. Then at least let me help you finish it smart. I look at her. Really look at her. For the first time in months, dark eyes, genuine concern, the kind of loyalty Jessica never showed me. Why would you want to help? Because you're a good man who's been treated like garbage by someone who doesn't deserve you. And because I've been waiting for you to notice me for about 6 months now, the honesty hits me like a physical blow. Here's someone offering genuine affection while I'm consumed with revenge against someone who never deserved my love in the first place. Rhea, I'm not asking for anything, Tom. Just don't destroy yourself over someone who isn't worth it. But as I look into her concerned face, I realize it's too late for that advice. I'm already too far gone, and Jessica and Wyatt are about to learn just how far a quiet IT guy can fall. The third post goes live Thursday morning, and this one breaks the internet. It's a compilation video I created using Wyatt's own footage, a greatest hits reel of his conquests, complete with his commentary about each woman's performance and husband's situation. The gym calls Wyatt before 9 a.m. and fires him. By noon, 3 different wives have shown up at his apartment building demanding answers. By evening, someone has spray-painted "Homewrecker" across his Mustang in bright green letters. I'm admiring photos of the vandalism on Facebook when my doorbell rings. It's Dave, and he doesn't look happy. We need to talk, he says, pushing past me into the living room. Sure, come on in. Tom, what the hell are you doing? I'm not sure what you mean. Cut the "I know you're behind the Wyatt" thing. The posts, the videos, all of it. I close the door and turn to face him. Dave's been my friend for 8 years. He was the best man at my wedding. Max's godfather, the guy who helped me move into this house. So what if I am? So you're acting like a lunatic. That's what this isn't you, man. Maybe this is exactly me. Maybe I've just been hiding it under a layer of suburbanness for too long. Listen to yourself. You sound like a movie villain. He's not wrong, but I don't care anymore.
Jessica deserves this.
Maybe she does, but Max doesn't. And you're going to lose him if you keep going down this road. That stops me cold. Max understands. Max is 14 years old and watching his father turn into someone he doesn't recognize. You think that's good for him? Before I can answer, my phone buzzes with a text from Jessica. Meet me at Starbucks on 5th Street, 1 hour. Come alone. I show Dave the message. He shakes his head. Don't go. Nothing good comes from meeting your cheating wife in secret. I'm not afraid of Jessica. You should be afraid of yourself. But I go anyway. The Starbucks is crowded with the usual mix of students, remote workers, and soccer moms. Jessica sits in a corner booth, looking like she's aged 5 years in the past week. Her perfect fitness instructor image is cracked, revealing something raw and desperate underneath. You came, she says as I sit down. You asked me to. I asked you to stop destroying my life, but you didn't do that either. I order a coffee from the barista and settle in. What do you want, Jessica? I want to understand what happened to you. The man I married wouldn't do this. The man you married was a doormat. He let you walk all over him while you screwed your trainer and mocked him to your friends. I never meant for you to find out like this. You never meant for me to find out at all. She looks down at her hands. You're right. I'm sorry. Sorry you got caught. Or sorry you did it. Both. All of it. Tom, I know I hurt you, but this has to stop. Wyatt's life is ruined. His career, his reputation, everything. Good. The coldness in my voice makes her flinch. What about my life? My job? My friends? What about them? People are starting to ask questions about the video, about my connection to Wyatt, about why my husband is acting like a psychopath. Maybe you should have thought about that before you decided to cheat. I want a divorce. Fine, you can have one. I want half of everything. You can try. I want joint custody of Max over my dead body. Her composure finally cracks. You can't keep him from me. I'm his mother. You're a cheating, lying narcissist who spent the last 6 months treating her family like an inconvenience. You think any judge is going to give you custody after seeing the evidence I've collected? What evidence? I pull out my phone and show her a folder labeled Divorce Proceedings, screenshots, videos, audio recordings, financial records showing money spent on hotels and gifts for Wyatt. Jesus, Tom, how long have you been planning this? Since the day I found the condoms in your gym bag. She stares at the phone like it's a weapon pointed at her head, which, in a way, it is. You're sick, she whispers. I'm thorough. It's what I do for a living. This isn't over. Yes, it is. You just don't know it yet. She leaves without another word. I sit in the coffee shop for another hour watching normal people live their normal lives and wonder when I stopped being one of them. My phone rings. It's Rhea. How did the meeting go? How did you know I had a meeting? Because you've been acting like a man on a mission all week, and missions usually end with confrontations. It went fine. Tom, I need to tell you something. There are rumors going around the office. What kind of rumors? The kind that suggest you might be using company resources for personal vendettas. My blood runs cold. Who's saying that? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you need to be careful. Really careful. Thanks for the warning. There's something else. Jessica called here this afternoon asking about your work schedule and computer access. She what? She was fishing for information about your capabilities, your access levels, stuff like that. I didn't tell her anything, but Tom, I think she's building a case against you. The pieces click into place. Jessica isn't just planning to divorce me, she's planning to destroy me first. Probably with Wyatt's help. Rhea, I need a favor. Name it. I need you to monitor all external inquiries about me or my work. Anyone calls asking questions, anyone tries to access my files, anything unusual at all. Done. But Tom, yeah, whatever you're planning next, make sure it's worth what it's going to cost you. But as I drive home through the suburban streets where I've lived for 8 years, I realized the cost doesn't matter anymore. Jessica and Wyatt declared war the day they decided to humiliate me. Now they're about to learn what happens when you underestimate the quiet guy in it. The final phase is about to begin. Friday evening, Max and I are eating pizza and watching a movie when Jessica comes home. She's been staying at Gina's house since our coffee shop confrontation, but tonight she walks in like she owns the place. "We need to talk," she announces. "All of us." Max looks between us nervously. "Should I go to my room?" "No," I say. "Stay. This concerns you too." Jessica sits across from us, her expression a mixture of determination and barely controlled rage. "Tom, I know what you've been doing. The hacking, the social media posts, the surveillance, all of it." "Do you?" "I've been talking to a lawyer, and to some people who understand computer crimes." Max's eyes widen. "Computer crimes?" "Your father has been using his work computer to hack into people's accounts and destroy their lives." "That's not true," I say calmly. "Isn't it? You hacked Wyatt's social media. You've been recording private conversations. You planted surveillance equipment without consent." She's fishing, trying to get me to admit to something she can use against me. But I've been in cybersecurity too long to fall for amateur interrogation tactics. I haven't hacked anything. I haven't recorded any conversations that took place in private spaces, and I haven't planted surveillance equipment anywhere except my own property. What about the posts on Wyatt's accounts? What about them? They're his photos, his messages, his own words. I just made sure they reached a wider audience. How did you get access to his accounts? I didn't. Someone did, though. Probably someone who got tired of his bragging about sleeping with married women. Max looks confused. "Mom, are you saying Dad's a criminal?" "I'm saying your father has lost his mind." "Actually," I interrupt, "I think I found it." I pull out my laptop and open a folder labeled Family Meeting. "Max, your mother and I are getting divorced. That's not your fault, and it doesn't change how much we both love you. But before we move forward, I think you should understand why." "Tom, don't," Jessica warns. "Don't what?" "Don't tell our son the truth." I turn the laptop toward Max. The screen shows a timeline I've created documenting Jessica's affair with photos, messages, and receipts. Your mother has been having an affair with her personal trainer for 6 months. She's been lying to both of us, spending our money on hotels and gifts for him, and making fun of our family to her friends. Max stares at the screen, his face cycling through confusion, hurt, and anger. "Mom, is this true?" Jessica's composure crumbles. "Max, it's complicated. Is it true?" "Yes, but there's no but," I say gently. "She made a choice. Now we all have to live with the consequences." Max looks at his mother with an expression that breaks my heart. "Why?" "I wasn't happy," Jessica whispers. "So you cheated instead of talking to Dad, instead of getting counseling or therapy or just anything else?" "It wasn't supposed to happen. It just did." The word comes out of Max with surprising venom. "Nothing just happens. You chose this." He storms out of the room. Jessica starts to follow, but I stop her. "Let him go. You've done enough damage for one night." "This is your fault," she says. "You turned him against me." I showed him the truth. You turned him against you the day you decided our family wasn't worth your loyalty. I want you out of this house. This is my house. My name is on the mortgage, the deed, and every utility bill. You want out? There's the door. I'll fight you for custody. With what? Your stellar track record as a cheating spouse? Your stable income from the part-time job you're about to lose? Your character witnesses, who are all dealing with their own infidelity scandals? She stares at me like I'm a stranger. Maybe I am. What happened to you, Tom? You used to be kind. I used to be naive. There's a difference. After she leaves, I find Max in his room staring at his computer screen. You okay, kiddo? Not really, but I will be. I'm sorry you had to find out like that. I already knew. Not the details, but I'm not stupid, Dad. I could see what was happening. Why didn't you say anything? Because I hoped I was wrong. And because I didn't want to hurt you. The maturity in his voice makes me proud and heartbroken at the same time. What happens now? He asks. Now we figure out how to be a family of two. Think you can handle that? Can you? It's a fair question. The man who's been orchestrating revenge plots for the past week might not be the best candidate for single fatherhood. I'm going to try, but Max, I need you to know something. The things I've done this week, that's not who I want to be. I was angry and hurt, and I handled it badly. Did they deserve it? Maybe, but that doesn't make it right. Are you going to stop? I think about why, its ruined reputation, Jessica's crumbling social circle, the elaborate revenge plots I've been planning. Yeah, I'm going to stop. Good, because revenge is stupid. Why do you say that? Because it means they're still controlling your life. Even after they screwed you over, you're still letting them decide how you spend your time and energy. 14 years old and he's wiser than his father. When did you get so smart? Someone had to be the adult in this family. That night, after Max goes to bed, I sit in my office and delete the remaining scheduled posts from Wyatt's accounts. I erase the files I've collected, wipe the backup drives, and remove the surveillance equipment from the garage. It's over. Or it should be. But as I'm shutting down my computer, an email arrives from an address I don't recognize. The subject line reads, "You're not the only one with computer skills." Inside is a single message. Check your work email. My blood runs cold as I log into my Meridian insurance account. There, in my sent folder, are dozens of emails I never wrote. Messages to clients containing confidential information, inappropriate comments to female coworkers, and worst of all, detailed confessions about hacking Wyatt's accounts and stalking Jessica. All sent from my work computer, all time-stamped during business hours, all completely fabricated, but sophisticated enough to fool anyone who doesn't know better. My phone rings. "Jessica, how do you like a taste of your own medicine?" she asks. "You're making a mistake." Am I? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you just confessed to multiple felonies using your work computer. I wonder what your boss will think when he sees those emails on Monday morning. Those emails are fake, and you know it. Prove it. Oh wait, you can't, because you're not the only one who knows someone in it. Wyatt, the muscle-bound idiot, has been hiding some actual intelligence behind his pretty face. What do you want? I want you to back off. Delete whatever evidence you have left. Stop the social media campaign and give me an uncontested divorce with full custody of Max. And if I don't, then Monday morning, your boss gets copies of those emails, along with a detailed report about how you've been using company resources to cyberstalk and harass innocent people. Max will never forgive you if you destroy his father's life. Max will understand that I was protecting myself from an abusive husband. The line goes dead. I stare at my computer screen, reading through the fabricated emails that could end my career and possibly land me in prison. For the first time in a week, I feel genuinely afraid. But fear, I'm discovering, can be just as motivating as anger. Saturday morning brings unexpected visitors. I'm making coffee when the doorbell rings, revealing Dave and Rhea standing on my front porch. "Intervention time," Dave announces, walking past me into the house. "This isn't necessary," I start, but Rhea cuts me off. "Tom, Jessica, and Wyatt tried to hack your work email last night. They triggered about 15 different security protocols in the process." I stare at her. "How do you know that?" "Because I've been monitoring your account since Thursday, remember? And because Wyatt Miller is about as subtle as a brick through a window when it comes to cybersecurity." She pulls out her laptop and shows me a detailed log of the intrusion attempts. "They got in through a phishing email that harvested your login credentials. Then they used a pretty sophisticated spoofing program to make it look like the fake emails came from your actual workstation." "Can you prove they're fake?" "Already did. The metadata shows they were composed on a machine with Wyatt's fingerprints all over it. Literally, he's been posting gym selfies with his laptop in the background for months." Dave sits down heavily on my couch. "So, let me get this straight. Your cheating wife and her boyfriend tried to frame you for computer crimes. Looks that way. And they're threatening to destroy your career unless you let them have everything they want in the divorce. That's the plan." "Well," Rhea says, closing her laptop, "it's a terrible plan." "Why?" "Because attempting to frame someone for cybercrimes is itself a cybercrime, a federal one. And because they left more digital evidence than a teenager's browser history. I feel something I haven't experienced in days. Hope. What are my options? Option 1. We turn everything over to the FBI and let them handle it. Jessica and Wyatt go to prison. You get your life back. But it becomes a very public, very messy federal case. What's option 2? Rhea grins, and for the first time I see a hint of the same darkness that's been driving me all week. Option 2. We give them exactly what they deserve. Rhea, Tom, these people tried to destroy your life, not just hurt you or embarrass you. Actually, destroy you. Your career, your freedom, your relationship with your son. That goes way beyond adultery. Dave nods grimly. She's right. This is war now. What did you have in mind? Rhea opens her laptop again and shows me a new folder labeled Operation Checkmate. We're going to let them think they won. You're going to agree to their demands, sign whatever papers they want, and act like the defeated husband they think you are. And then we spring the trap. The plan is elegant in its simplicity. We'll document everything. Jessica and Wyatt's extortion attempt, the fake emails, their confession to cybercrimes. But instead of going to the authorities, we'll wait for them to make their next move. They won't be able to resist gloating, Rhea explains. Narcissists never can. They'll brag about how they outsmarted you, probably document it on social media or in messages to friends. And when they do, we release everything at once. Not just the cybercrime evidence, but all of it. The affair, the extortion, the fake emails, everything. Complete and total exposure. That's, I pause looking for the right word, ruthless. They tried to frame you for felonies, Tom. Ruthless is the minimum appropriate response. Dave leans forward. There's one problem with this plan. What? Maximum. He's going to have to watch his mother get destroyed publicly. You sure you want to put him through that? It's a fair point. Max has been through enough already. What if we give Jessica one chance to back down? She won't take it. Rhea says, people like her don't back down, they double down. Then we'll let her. I call Jessica that afternoon and arrange to meet at a lawyer's office downtown. She brings Wyatt, which tells me everything I need to know about how confident they are in their position. Tom, Jessica says as we sit down in the conference room, I'm glad you've decided to be reasonable. I don't have much choice, do I? No, you don't. The lawyer, a sharp-eyed woman named Patricia Chen, slides a document across the table. This is a fairly standard divorce agreement, she says. Mrs. Harland gets the house, full custody of the minor child, and 60% of marital assets. M. Harland keeps his retirement accounts and personal belongings. What about alimony? $2,000 a month for 10 years. I pretend to read through the document, though Rhea and I have already analyzed every clause. This seems generous. It's fair, Jessica says, considering the circumstances. What circumstances? Wyatt speaks for the first time. The circumstances where you committed multiple felonies and tried to destroy innocent people's lives, right? Those circumstances. I signed the papers with a defeated expression that's not entirely fake. Losing Max, even temporarily, feels like having my heart ripped out. There's one more thing, Jessica says as we're wrapping up. I want a public apology. Excuse me? I want you to publicly apologize for the harassment, the hacking, all of it. Social media post, maybe a letter to the local newspaper? Jessica, that's not necessary, the lawyer starts. It's necessary to me. I want everyone to know that Tom admits what he did was wrong. I look at Wyatt, who's trying not to smirk. Fine, I'll write an apology. Good. I want to see it before you post it. Of course. We shake hands like civilized people, and I walk out of that office looking like a man who's lost everything. Because in a way I have. The old Tom Harland, the trusting husband, the naive suburban dad, is gone forever. What's left is something harder, colder, and infinitely more dangerous. But Jessica and Wyatt are about to learn that sometimes losing everything is just another way of saying, you have nothing left to lose. The apology letter takes me 3 hours to write. It needs to sound genuine while being technically accurate. A masterpiece of misdirection that will make perfect sense once the truth comes out. I want to publicly apologize for my recent behavior regarding my wife Jessica and Wyatt Miller. My actions were driven by anger and hurt, and I handled the situation poorly. I should have addressed my concerns through proper channels instead of taking matters into my own hands. I deeply regret any harm my actions may have caused, and I take full responsibility for my choices. I hope that everyone involved can move forward and heal from this difficult situation. Jessica loves it. She posted on Facebook with her own commentary about, quote, toxic masculinity and, quote, the importance of accountability. The post gets dozens of supportive comments from people who think I'm a controlling husband who finally got his comeuppance. Wyatt shares it on his Instagram with the caption, "Sometimes real men have to step up and protect their women." Respect to Tom for finally doing the right thing. The arrogance is breathtaking. But the real gift comes 3 days later when Gina posts a video to her TikTok account. She's clearly drunk, celebrating at some bar with Jessica and Miranda, and she's telling the whole story to anyone who will listen.
So Jessica's husband was like totally stalking her and her boyfriend.
She slurs into the camera, like hacking their accounts and posting all their private stuff. But Jess and Wyatt are like super smart, so they totally turned it around on it. They made fake emails to make it look like he was doing illegal stuff at work, and now he's going to lose everything in the divorce. She giggles and raises her drink to Jessica for showing that cheaters can win if they're smart enough. The video gets shared 47 times before Gina sours up and deletes it. But by then, Rhea has already downloaded copies and documented every share, every comment, every piece of evidence we need. They just confessed to conspiracy, extortion, and cybercrime, she tells me over coffee on social media. Well, drunk. This is almost too easy. What's our next move? We wait for them to get comfortable. Let them think they've won completely. We don't have to wait long. A week after the divorce papers are signed, Jessica moves Wyatt into our house. My house, technically. though the divorce agreement gives her temporary residence rights until the property settlement is finalized. Max calls me that night, furious. "Dad, they're acting like this is their house now. Wyatt's using your office, sleeping in your bed, eating food from your kitchen." "I know it's hard, kiddo. Why are you letting them do this? Why aren't you fighting back?" "Sometimes you have to lose a battle to win the war." "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Trust me, Max, just a little longer." But Max's patience runs out before mine does. 3 days later, he shows up at my apartment with a suitcase. "I can't live there anymore," he says. "Mom's acting like she's some kind of queen, and Wyatt keeps trying to be my new dad. It's gross." "Max, the custody agreement." "Screw the custody agreement. I'm 14, not 4. I can choose where I want to live." He's right, legally speaking. At his age, his preference carries significant weight with family courts. "Are you sure about this, Dad? They're planning something. I heard them talking about how they're going to finish you off once the house sale goes through." "What do you mean?" "I don't know exactly, but Wyatt was talking about making sure you can never cause trouble again. Something about permanent solutions." A chill runs down my spine. Jessica and Wyatt have already committed extortion and cybercrime. How much further are they willing to go? That night, I call Rhea. "We need to move up the timeline." "Why? What happened?" I tell her about Max's warning about the permanent solutions comment. "Tom, if they're talking about physically harming you, I don't think they are, but I think they might be planning to frame me for something bigger, something that would put me in prison for years. Then we end this now." "How?" "Remember how I said narcissists can't resist gloating? Well, your wife just posted something on her private Instagram that's going to make your day." She sends me a screenshot. It's Jessica and Wyatt in my former bedroom. Champagne glasses raised with a caption that makes my blood boil. "To the spoils of victory." Sometimes the good guys do win. The post has dozens of comments from Jessica's friends congratulating her on playing the game better than her ex and celebrating how she turned the tables on a controlling husband. "She just publicly admitted to orchestrating the whole thing," Rhea says. "Combined with Gina's video and the cybercrime evidence, we have enough to destroy them both." What's the plan? Tomorrow is Friday. We're going to give them a weekend they'll never forget. What about Max? Max is going to stay with Dave for a few days. What we're about to do isn't going to be pretty. Friday morning, I wake up feeling calm for the first time in weeks. The rage is gone, replaced by something colder and more focused. Today, Jessica and Wyatt learn what happens when you underestimate the quiet guy in it. Rhea meets me at a coffee shop downtown, her laptop bag slung over her shoulder like a weapon. "You ready for this?" "I've been ready since the day I found those condoms." "Then, let's burn it all down." The attack begins at exactly 9 a.m. on Friday morning. Time to coincide with peak social media activity. Rhea and I have spent the past week preparing what she calls the digital equivalent of a nuclear bomb. First, we released the evidence of Jessica and Wyatt's cybercrimes to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, complete with detailed documentation, timestamps, and digital forensics proving their guilt. But we don't stop there. Simultaneously, we publish everything on a website RIA created called therealallstory.com. The site contains a complete timeline of events from Jessica's initial affair through their attempted extortion, backed up with screenshots, videos, audio, recordings, and expert analysis of the digital evidence. The centerpiece is a side-by-side comparison of my confession letter and the actual evidence of their crimes, showing exactly how they manipulated the narrative to make themselves look like victims. But the real masterstroke is the social media campaign. Using completely legitimate advertising tools, we promote the website to everyone in Jessica's network, her friends, her coworkers, her family, everyone who saw her victory posts and believed her lies. The response is immediate and devastating. By 10 a.m., Jessica's phone is ringing constantly. Friends who supported her are now demanding explanations. Her boss at the fitness center is asking about the criminal allegations. Her mother is calling to ask if the FBI really contacted their local police department. By 11 a.m., the local news has picked up the story. Local couple accused of cybercrime conspiracy leads the noon broadcast, complete with footage of Jessica and Wyatt's house, my house, surrounded by reporters. By noon, Wyatt's remaining clients have canceled their contracts. His landlord has served him with eviction papers. His ex-girlfriend has posted her own video explaining how he cheated on her with multiple married women. But the real entertainment starts when Jessica tries to fight back. At 1 p.m., she posts a frantic message on Facebook. "Everything on that website is lies. Tom is a psychopath who's been stalking and harassing us for weeks. Don't believe his fake evidence." The post backfires spectacularly. Within minutes, people are commenting with links to Gina's TikTok video, Jessica's own Instagram posts, and screenshots of her friends celebrating how they outsmarted me. "Which is it, Jessica?" One comment reads, "Is Tom a dangerous stalker, or did you outsmart him like you bragged about? Can't be both." At 2 p.m., Wyatt makes his own attempt at damage control, posting a video where he claims I manipulated the evidence and framed innocent people. But his explanation is so convoluted and defensive that it only makes him look more guilty. At 3 p.m., the FBI shows up at my former house with a warrant to seize Jessica and Wyatt's computers and phones. I watched the news coverage from Raya's apartment, feeling a mixture of satisfaction and exhaustion. It's over. Finally. Completely over. "How do you feel?" Rhea asks, settling beside me on the couch. "Empty," I admit. "I thought I'd feel victorious, but mostly I just feel tired." That's normal. Revenge is exhausting. Was it worth it? Ask me in a year when Jessica and Wyatt are in federal prison and you have your life back. My phone buzzes with a text from Max. "Dad, I saw the news. Are you okay?" I text back. "I'm fine, kiddo. How are you holding up?" "Relieved, honestly. Now everyone knows the truth. I'm sorry you had to go through all this." I'm not. Mom needed to face consequences for what she did. "And Dad, yeah, I'm proud of you for fighting back, but I'm also proud of you for stopping when you did." "What do you mean?" "You could have destroyed them completely, made it so they'd never recover. But you didn't. You just made sure the truth came out." He's right. The evidence I've released is devastating but factual. I haven't fabricated anything, exaggerated anything, or crossed any legal lines. I've simply made sure that Jessica and Wyatt's actions have consequences. "Does this mean we can go home now?" Max asks. "Yeah, kiddo. We can go home." But as I'm packing my things to move back into my house, I realize that home isn't the place anymore. It's not the suburban house where Jessica betrayed me, or the apartment where I planned my revenge. Home is wherever Max and I are together, building something new from the ruins of what came before. My phone rings. It's Dave. "Tom, you magnificent bastard. I just watched Jessica get arrested on live television." She got arrested. FBI showed up with handcuffs and everything. Wyatt, too. Apparently, cybercrime conspiracy is a federal offense. Who knew? I did, actually. Rhea and I researched the potential penalties extensively. Jessica and Wyatt are looking at up to 5 years in federal prison, plus massive fines and permanent felony records. "How do you feel about that?" Dave asks. "I feel like justice has been served. And I feel like it's time to move on." That evening, Max and I walk through our house together, surveying the damage from Jessica and Wyatt's brief occupation. They've left it in shambles. Dirty dishes everywhere, furniture moved around, my office completely ransacked. "It's going to take a while to clean this up," Max observes. "We've got time." "Dad?" Yeah. What happens now with Mom? I mean, it's a hard question. Jessica is still his mother, despite everything she's done. Your mom made some very bad choices, and now she has to face the consequences. But that doesn't change the fact that she loves you. Does she, though? Because it seems like she loved herself more than she loved either of us. The maturity in his voice breaks my heart. No 14-year-old should have to see his mother this clearly. People are complicated, Max. Your mom isn't evil. She's selfish and narcissistic and made terrible decisions. But I think in her own way she does love you. Will I be able to see her? If you want to, once the legal stuff gets sorted out. I don't know if I want to. You don't have to decide now. Take your time. We spend the next few hours cleaning, working in comfortable silence. It feels good to be home, to be together, to be starting over. Around midnight, as we're finishing up the kitchen, Max asks the question I've been dreading. Dad, are you going to be okay? Like, mentally, after everything that's happened? What do you mean? I mean, you went kind of dark there for a while. The revenge stuff, the planning, the way you talked about Mom and Wyatt. It was scary. He's right to be concerned. The man who orchestrated Jessica and Wyatt's downfall isn't someone I'm entirely comfortable being. I think I'm going to talk to someone, a therapist maybe, work through some of this stuff. Good, because I need you to be my dad, not some revenge-obsessed vigilante. Deal. We finish cleaning around 1 a.m. The house looks like home again. Our home, not the crime scene it became under Jessica and Wyatt's occupation. As I'm tucking Max into bed, he asks one final question. Dad, do you think Mom will ever understand what she did wrong? I don't know, kiddo. Some people never do. I hope she does, not for her sake, but for mine. I don't want to spend the rest of my life hating my mother. You don't have to hate her. You can be disappointed in her, angry with her, hurt by her choices, but hate will only poison you. Is that why you stopped? The revenge stuff? I mean, partly, but mostly I stopped because I realized I was becoming someone I didn't want to be, someone you wouldn't be proud to call your father. I'm always proud to call you my father, even when you're being an idiot. I laugh, feeling lighter than I have in months. Get some sleep, Max. Tomorrow we start over. Together. Together. Epilogue. 6 months later, the courtroom is packed with reporters and curious onlookers as Jessica and Wyatt stand before the federal judge for sentencing. I'm sitting in the back row with Max and Rhea, watching the final chapter of this story unfold. Jessica gets 3 years in federal prison, plus 2 years of supervised probation. Wyatt gets 4 years, thanks to his prior record of identity theft that came to light during the investigation. Both are ordered to pay substantial fines and restitution. As they're led away in handcuffs, Jessica looks back at Max with tears in her eyes. He doesn't look away, but he doesn't wave either. He just watches his mother face the consequences of her choices with the same mature acceptance he's shown throughout this entire ordeal. You okay? I ask him as we leave the courthouse. Yeah, it's sad. But it's also right she did this to herself and to us. Yeah, but we're okay now. He's right. We are okay. Better than okay, actually. The house is ours again, free and clear after the divorce settlement was renegotiated in light of Jessica's criminal conviction. Max is doing well in school, seeing a counselor to help process everything that's happened, and slowly rebuilding his relationship with his extended family. I'm back at work with a promotion to senior cybersecurity analyst, and the clean record after the FBI investigation cleared me of any wrongdoing. The fake emails Jessica and Wyatt created actually helped my career. My company was so impressed with how I handled the attack that they offered me a raise and additional responsibilities. Andrea and I are taking things slow, building something real and honest from the ashes of my marriage. She's patient with my trust issues, understanding about Max's need to be the priority in my life, and brilliant enough to keep me intellectually challenged. "So, what now?" she asks as we walk to the car. "This chapter is finally closed. Now, we write a better story. We, all of us, Max, me, you, if you want to be part of it. I want to be part of it." Max grins from the back seat. Does this mean Rhea is going to be around more often? If that's okay with you, it's okay with me. She's way cooler than Mom ever was. As we drive home through the suburban streets where this all began, I think about the man I was 6 months ago. Naive, trusting, willing to ignore obvious signs of betrayal because it was easier than facing the truth. That man is gone, replaced by someone harder but wiser. Someone who understands that trust must be earned and that actions have consequences. I'm not proud of everything I did during those dark weeks of revenge. The man who hacked social media accounts and orchestrated public humiliation campaigns isn't someone I want to be again. But I'm not ashamed of fighting back when my family was threatened. I'm not ashamed of making sure the truth came to light, and I'm not ashamed of teaching Jessica and Wyatt that there are consequences for trying to destroy innocent people's lives. Sometimes the furniture fights back. Sometimes the quiet guy in it turns out to be the most dangerous person in the room. Sometimes the people who think they're the smartest players in the game discover they've been outmaneuvered by someone they never bothered to understand. Jessica and Wyatt learned that lesson the hard way. As for Max and me, we're learning different lessons about resilience, about family, about building something better from the ruins of what came before. We pull into our driveway as the sun sets behind our house, our home, our fresh start. "Dad," Max says as we get out of the car. "Yeah, I love you. I love you too, kiddo." "And Dad?" "What?" "Thanks for fighting for us. Thanks for reminding me who I wanted to be." We walk into our house together, Max, Rhea, and me, ready to write the next chapter of our story. A better story, an honest story. A story where the good guys actually win. 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 Guys actually.